Hello people, my name is Rage and welcome one and all to Planet Explorers. Let us find out if it is indeed worth the price. Now, before I begin, I just have to say that this game has got some of the most soothing, calming and just nice menu music I think I've ever heard. Just listen to it. Is that just not enchanting? I think it's fantastic. So to the actual game then. Well, it's all about exploring, shocking I know, and being creative. In fact, it's very akin to Minecraft, Terraria, Starbound. In fact, if I had to describe it in a sentence, I would say it is a 3D Starbound, and we'll get into why a bit later on. Now, I have a lot of mixed feelings with this game. I think it's got a lot of potential, but there are a few major flaws, and we'll go into that throughout the video. So let's get on with this shizbang. I was going to say shindig, and somehow shizbang. Don't question it. Alright guys, so single player it is. Everything you can do in single player you can do, but with other people on a multiplayer server, so that's really all you need to know about multiplayer. The free modes you can choose from are story, adventure and build. Story is a more directed experience, adventure is starting from nothing and just exploring, and build is here's everything, have fun being creative. I'll go over all three modes, but for the purposes of showing you what kind of things you can do and what you'll aim towards, we're going to go on build. Now, this is a early access build and a lot of updates are being added, so everything you see is not necessarily representative of the final game, but pretty much everything is here, so also bear that in mind. Now, when you first decide to choose a mode, you must create a character. The character customization honestly is fairly competent. It's not that extensive, but it doesn't really need to be for what it is. You've got some face styles, you've got some hairstyles, body and other are not yet implemented, and you know, it does its job. It's not crazy good, it's not crazy bad, it's just there and it's just nice, so it's okay so far. So let's just call our character Test for now, the Intrepid Explorer Test. Wow, his parents must have literally hated him. And you can choose what biome you want to be in, and it really does make a big difference, but grassland is the easiest for me to show you what's up. So let us go down to the planet. Now I must say, ladies and gentlemen, while we wait for our intrepid explorer to begin his intrepid exploring adventure, there's going to be a lot of intrepidness. This game is very complex, and that's something it does have going for it, although, to be fair, it is overly complex, but you'll see more of that as we go on. So I'm going to try and give you a brief overview so you understand how everything works, but by no means am I going to be able to cover everything in intricate detail this video, because it's just a very, very expansive game. So here we are on the grassland biome, and as you can see, everything looks kind of pretty. It's not the most impressive visually looking game, but it does have a lot of scale. You can explore and travel for ages. There's lots of fantastical animals that you can fight and hunt, and actually that's one of the strongest points of this game. As we're playing, you will see lots of indigenous species, massive ranges of creatures, from tiny, weird, morphing things to giant, four-legged beasts roaming the land that take a party of like 8 people to bring down, and that is one of the really neat points of this game, and hopefully we'll see more creatures as we go on. But yes, graphically speaking, it's nothing to write home about. It serves its purpose, it's okay, it does its job. I apologise for this sudden jump cut, ladies and gentlemen, but it would not sit right with me if I did not put it in. In editing, I realised that you could be forgiven for closing the video at about the 6-minute mark and writing this game off as not worth playing, and I would hate to do that kind of injustice to it. This game does have a lot of potential, and there's a lot of cool stuff that I will be showing you later in the video, so I would wholeheartedly recommend you watch this entire thing before fully forming your opinion on it. I stand by everything I say in this video based on the 4 or 5 hours I've played it, as it all is just true. However, I do think that you owe it to this game, as it does have a lot going for it, to fully experience everything before forming your opinion. Alright guys, I return you now to your regularly scheduled broadcast. So, as far as the actual feel of the game, how everything controls, as you can see I'm running around, you've got 2 options as far as controlling that the game asks you to choose between. One of them is completely unplayable option 1, and number 2 is kind of playable but really annoying option 2. I'm currently on option 2. That is my main gripe with this. Before I begin showing you anything, the controls of this game are just a little bit slow and sluggish in my liking. You want a game like this to feel crisp and precise, and honestly, this is one of the first things I had to get over while playing this game. It would have put me off if I wasn't wanting to, you know, show you guys this game in a video, is that the controls are just, it's like treacle. It's like you're trying to play this game in a massive vat of treacle, and it just kind of feels off. And then on top of that, the actual animation quality itself is a little bit lackluster. So, as is the norm with games like this, the first thing that you should do is walk up to a tree and begin punching it. And, you know, it doesn't do anything. Now, this is a big point. I kind of love this. You can't get down a tree with your fists! Suck it, Minecraft! No, but seriously, because I am on the build mode, I can open this box, and bear with me, there's going to be a lot of stuff on the middle of the screen, but if you do pay attention to it, you can see a lot of the stuff you can get in-game, so it is going to be quite useful for you. And as you can see, we've already got a lot of parallels to Minecraft, from wooden, stone, to iron, to diamond, shovels, axes, and picks, etc, etc. So if I grab myself a axe real quick, let's just go with the basic and wooden one, simply put it on your bars, and you can equip it, and now if I go up to this tree, I can begin cutting it down. Now look at the animation quality. Normally, animations aren't a big deal for me, they don't bug me that much, but in this game, it really stands out to me. I don't know what it is, they just feel kind of stilted and unrealistic, and that kind of bugs me because I like to animate myself. I do games design at uni, and I see myself as a bit of an animator, and my animation teacher a lot of the time would criticize my animations in various ways, and I'm like, no, they're my baby animations, I love them, they're good. And for the first time I can understand his perspective, because the animations in this game are all, you know, competent mechanically. They all work. They're technically the correct movements. They just feel off. They don't have that wow that you would expect from a game. And I can finally appreciate the criticism I was given by playing this game. So the animations themselves, I really feel, need a little bit more fluidity and oomph to them. But honestly, now that we've got to this stage, controls and animations aside, the rest of the game is actually really good, but that is a shame, because for most people, the visuals in terms of the animation and to some extent the world itself, and then especially controls, are gonna put a lot of you guys off, but definitely I feel like that will be something that will be improved over the course of the early access. So where does this game shine then? Well, firstly, you've got the actual scale of the world. You can run for ages finding these cool plant-like structures, collecting stuff, there's rocks everywhere. One of the main advantages to this game is that there's rocks everywhere. What I meant to say is there's cool mountain formations like that over there, and you really can get your good exploring on, which is key because after all, we're playing Planet Explorers. So, if this was in an adventure mode or story mode, I'd be collecting things and generally gathering resources, but as it's not, I'm just wanting to show you around and see what kind of vistas you get. Now, you can also walk up to plants like this and pick them up to gather them, etc, as you might expect. And we also have the basic forms of mining and gathering. So if I get myself an energy shovel, which is the best shovel in the game above diamond, which will help me serve my purpose, and then if I also get a pickaxe. So if I equip my energy shovel, you will see you get a little indicator on the ground, and this is one of the really neat things of the game. You can start digging your hat. That's a pick that I was using there. I meant to use my shovel, but it's the same principle. So for example, the shovel is just really good at cleaving out land, and you can really dig your own caves and really customize where you're going. I mean, you could dig yourself your own customized cave and live in it, build your furniture in it, get like a door on there, and you can actually make some kind of cool things. So this is basically how mining works. You just generally go through stuff, find a nice wall, switch to your pick, and then slowly mine your way through the game, acquiring minerals. So that's really all you need to know about underground. As yet, I've not found a single cave in the game, so I can't really comment on if they're in or not, but I feel like I should have found one by now because I've played this a fair amount, so that does concern me a little bit, that the ground is just simply there for the purpose of digging down to find resources, which is still okay by itself for collecting, because that appeals to people, but it would be nice to have things to discover while doing so. So if we actually stay on equipment then, I'm going to get something that's quite cool, and this is for specifically getting out of a pit. Now, All the equipment that I'm going to be showing you in a build mode is stuff that you can acquire in-game. You find recipes, you create recipes, you start with a lot of recipes, and they all give you ways of crafting this equipment that I'm going to be showing you. So it is kind of a good idea to get the scope of things you're going to be making, because there is a lot of stuff. There's many different sets of armor that you can make. I mean, I'm not going to go all over it, but if I just whack, for example, this gold set on, there we go, I'm kind of a nice little trooper dude now, and this is kind of end-game armor, and maybe put the aluminium set on, and you can see there is quite a lot of armor choices to be going on with, and there is good amounts of combat in this game. The animals can be quite ferocious, and you do need to fight them. So if I got my energy sword out, equipped that, if I whack it in my number 5, and then I do have a cool energy sword on my back. You can also get stuff like rifles and pistols, and, you know, have some cool ranged combat going on. If I can actually find my rifles and pistols, here we are. If we go rifle type 1, and then there we go, and boom, yay! But the thing is, it's still back to the control and animation problem. It just doesn't feel fun and exciting. There's no like zing to it, if you get me. There's no punch. It just isn't there. It doesn't feel good to fire this weapon. It's really quite bad, honestly, and that bugs me because I want to like this game because it does have a lot of cool mechanics going for it. So that is how the weaponry generally works. Once I go into the other game modes, I will be able to show you some creatures and actually fight them. For some reason, roaming creatures don't actually seem to be a part of the open creative mode, and I guess that's to not interfere you actually being creative. And then some really cool things that you can do in the game. For example, if I get my fertilizer spray on and start using it, I can make I know how to speak, guys, it's fine. I can make the ground go like this, which means that it is ready to be planted upon. So if I get some resources over here, in fact, it is an equipment, I know what I'm doing, totally. It's in items, isn't it? Yeah, there it is. So there's lots and lots of different seeds and lots of plants for you to collect. So if we were to get some wheat seeds, there we go, and I can now move over to this and start planting them in the ground, as you can see. There we go. And the actual interface for doing this is not the cleanest and most efficient. As you can see, it kind of bounces backwards and forth. To be fair, let me try and actually... There we go. So if we do that, we can kind of place them a little bit more efficiently, but for some reason it just insists on me getting my fertilizer out, which kind of bugs me. There's a lot of surface level issues with this game that prevent you from enjoying the deep and actually kind of fun things creative wise it's offering, which is a disappointment. And then you also get the water pitcher, which you can use to water them, as well as watering cans, but you can see you can build massive great farms, surround them by fences, make like a barn, and, you know, really pretty it up and make it nice than my really terrible patch of land with a few bits of wheat growing on it, but you get the idea. There's also really cool endgame stuff like a full-on jetpack and a glider pack, which is really quite awesome. So if I get my jetpack and glider over there we go, if I equip that, whack that on there. So if I get my jetpack and blast off, you have to make a battery for this to work, but how cool is this? This is a really fun thing to do. And then if you switch to your glider and start gliding down, you can safely land. There's also a parachute in game, and this all is really quite fun to do. It's a cool novel way of getting round and something you don't see often enough. Don't you get me? Sometimes you just need to see more jetpacks in things. A lot of games just need jetpacks, and I think that's something this game at least has capitalized on. And that was a really, really awkward fall for me to take there, and I nearly lost a lot of my health and died, but that's fine, I totally know what I'm doing. So yes, you've got your basic resource gathering, resource farming, and you can find stuff and build stuff. So how do you actually build stuff? Well, if we go to the replicator over this, totally not even the button, I'll show you this later because it's actually really cool. But for some reason, right, on a creative mode again, you're not allowed to actually build anything recipe-wise, so I can't even show you construction and recipes until I get you on the other modes, which seems a little bit weird to me that they would just lock out features depending on which mode you're on, especially in modes where you're supposed to have everything open to you. So before I move on to the other modes to actually show you crafting and a few other neat things, let me show you the actual creative building part of the game, because I really do actually enjoy it. In fact, since I opened it, I will show you what this is. This lets you build custom items to actually add to your game. So for example, if I wanted to get some diamonds and then draw a block of diamonds this high, and then maybe a cylinder of diamonds, and then a cone of diamonds, and just generally a lot of diamonds. And then if I paint it red, and then add a sticker to it, because I feel like a sticker, and then you can add effects. And then if I go to my sword, which I totally made, you can even make stuff like having a stone hilt. And then if we go back to materials, and let's say I want a marble sword, I can eventually, if it let me, place it on top, which it's not doing. The controls of using this are not the best, but for example, I've built this hilt, I can build on top of it, and then import that item into the game, and I can literally craft my own custom weaponry and objects however I want from that screen. Now think about that. How cool is that? A game that literally is infinitely creative. If you have the blocks and the mindset, you can build really crazy, custom, awesome equipment to put in the game. There are people who have built a full-on attack helicopter in this mode and imported it into game, and that is fantastic. I am kind of a noob with this and kind of fail at making stuff work, but this is here for the people who really want to sit down and create something awesome for you and other people to use. It is there, and I really do like this. It's a massive redeeming feature of this game, to be able to custom craft your own equipment however you like. That is something you don't see often enough, and it really is fantastic. I want that in RPGs where equipment is what it's all about, but to get it in a game that's a sandbox is really cool. So now to the main meat of it as far as I'm concerned, the actual building. So if I open the building menu, here we can see all the materials that I've got a ridiculous amount of, and then if I go over to 4x4, I can now build on the ground a nice little platform for me to start building on. How awesome is this? This is such a neat way to build in 3D. If I make a little higher ledge, really get some awesome stuff going, like if I switch to maybe a cylinder over on one, and then I can start that there, go on top of it, and then build up and start getting pillars maybe every other way. There we go. If I just jump up onto my ledge, come on, few clipping issues there, but that's okay. And look at that. How cool is this, that you can start making your own really neat custom little houses and outcrops and everything. I think this is really, really incredible. It's a lot like EverQuest Next Landmark in that respect, that it offers you a really neat, very extensive building system. Now, I'm not the best at using it, but there is very intuitive controls. Everything works pretty cool. So I've now got this like rounded, slatted roof above my head, and you can really get crazy with this. In fact, let me totally build a statue of myself. I'm gonna go for it. Alright, here we go. So we got the base. Okay, then we're gonna get 2 feet. Here we go. No, one back there. Yeah, there we go. So we got the feet. Got glass feet, because, you know, I totally do genuinely have glass feet. We're gonna get me the body going on. There we go. Again, we're going to raise up the rest of the body. Then we get gold arms. We definitely need gold arms, because I do actually have gold arms in real life. Yeah, look at this. I am glass, iron, gold armed man, McGee. One arm longer than the other, they call me, dumb from the southern, with diamond chest plates, for I am Iron Man. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you can block jump. That is what you wanted to know, and it is true. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. If I just give myself let's give myself an aluminium sword real quick. Just get the hilt going on there. Boom, boom, boom. Oh yeah, look at my creativity. It is just powering through. I could live here. I'm moving in. Fuck the real world. This is where I'm located now. I win. Screw you guys. I am going home. So that is how the building menu works. As you can see, with all the various shapes and sizes and blocks, and the way you can actually use everything, you can get incredibly detailed and incredibly creative and make some truly awe-inspiring, awesome creations. And that is fantastic. That is one of the real merits of this game. Imagine a group of you on multiplayer, all with this build interface, working together to build an awesome building. And that does remind you of Minecraft. It's just this has a lot more customizability, actual rounded objects, and I kind of prefer it because it looks more like real architecture other than blocks. And I really do appreciate that this system is in the game. It really does set it apart. And that's one of the reasons why I'm disappointed so much. Like, I want the rest of the game to be good just because it has this. And it bugs me that the actual using of everything and the feel of the game is just off when it's got such cool systems actually working within it. So that is how the building... I love my statue. I'm so powerful and stuff. So that is how the building system and everything actually functions. And that's pretty much what you can do in the free build mode. As you can see, you really do have every item in the game. I don't want to go over everything. As I was saying, it's a very complicated game with a lot of things to discover, and I don't want to rob that experience of you if you do choose to get on board with this game. I mean, you've also got shields and stuff, and the combat is... we'll get to the combat in a little while, actually. It's a little bit, yeah. But I mean, you also have stuff like actual furniture, which I should probably show you, as this is a really cool thing. If we get that over there. One of the annoying things is that you cannot rotate while placing. You have to walk up to the item and turn it manually, which really bugs me, which is, again, little interface and interaction things that are just really... why isn't it better? Why isn't it smooth? Why doesn't it make it really easy for me to quickly construct something awesome? I mean, I can even have these massive blast doors as my house, open and close them, and it is really cool if I built round it. But it feels the need to make it difficult and unintuitive for me. It really bugs me. Could even do stuff like put a freaking laser turret down to defend your house from monsters and enemies. I mean, how cool is that? I want to love this game so much, and it's just preventing me. And then really late game, you can get really advanced technical structures, like the assembly core, which I can open and use to create really complex stuff that honestly has ridiculous amounts of depth that I've not even begun to crack yet, and I'm sure it's fantastic. I've got my own power plant down, got a recycling machine that you can put resources in, got an enhancement machine. It's just really cool. You've got a dwelling bed, which is better than a normal bed, actually lets you do really cool things with it. And you even get your own NPCs that you can recruit to your base, and you really do have a lot of customizability, a lot of extensiveness, and a lot of creativity with this game. And it's such a shame that it's so difficult to get in and get used to it and start enjoying yourself. So that is the free build mode, ladies and gentlemen. And now I will show you, yes indeed, if we return to the main menu, the other two modes that this game is offering. And I'll also show you a different type of biome, just so you can see the kind of depth in terms of the environment that this game is offering. So if we go on actual adventure mode next, this is gonna be cool. I mean, there is obviously like stuff like oceans. I don't care what you're called, sir. So let's go for a forest biome for this one. See, there's like oceans, there's canyons, and it's really cool to be full-on gliding through a canyon. It's like, yes, awesome, I am a badass explorer going where no one has gone before, ever so boldly flying across a canyon, fighting mighty theropods with their hardened shells. But I find it so difficult to get into that. It doesn't have that addictingness, that drawing in quality that Minecraft, Terraria, Starbound all have. So here is adventure mode, and this is where the game starts to pick up a little. You start in a town with NPCs, you can talk to them. Look, there's no actual voice acting, but to be fair, that's not expected. This is a small team that's made this game, and voice acting is very, very expensive. So yeah, you start in this cool town, and you can walk up to these various guys with weapons and ask them to work together, and they join your party, and you can start roaming the land with them, exploring at your side, and that is really cool. The AI is not great. As you can see, it still has a little bit to be desired. It's a little bit... it gets confused, let's just say. So, the main difference between this and the other mode is that now I can actually use the replicator to actually craft things. And as well as that, obviously I don't get to start with a lot of things. I get basic starting items such as a knife, a battery, and just meat. There is the survival aspect, cooking, killing, catching food, drinking, all that good stuff that you would expect. And here we have the first animal that we've seen. Look at this. This is just a very small smidgen of the types of wildlife in this game. This massive four-legged herbivore creature is absolutely fantastic. Now, right now, I have no real right to attack this because it will kick my ass. But again, once we get close up to this teacher, this beast is definitely a teacher. And look, the combat just feels so... I've got no real indication of how much damage we're doing. I've got no real indication of what the creature's doing. I mean, I know it's going for me right now because it turned to me and then it one-shot me because I am too early to be fighting this, but the combat just feels so stale, and then you can use the item that you start with to revive on the spot if you so wish, and it's just not that... like, combat even in Minecraft can feel intense in the right situations. It's got that tactile feedback, the hitting of the zombies when they glow red, and the sounds and everything. And in this game, it feels like I'm I might as well just be doing this. I'm getting the same amount of enjoyment hitting the air than I did fighting that creature, which is a shame because there is an awesome creature variety that I really do want to hunt. Over there in the distance we can see we have a cool humanoid type dude that we'll go say hi to. Now he's an aggressive son of a bitch, dual wielding axes, and he looks really fantastic. He's like a 4-armed ogre dude. Now he will kick my ass, as you can see. I shouldn't really be exploring this far. You need to be careful in adventure mode, craft and gather resources close to town safely, slowly get stronger and move out, but you see what I mean. The combat is just, it's not fun. At the end of the day, combat in a game like this needs to be fun if it's going to be a feature. This guy's going to keep killing me, and the actual targeting and hitboxes as well seems to be really off, and it just... it really is such a shame. I sound like I'm slamming this game, and I hate doing that so much. I try and find the positive and good in everything, and I genuinely want to like this game, and it does have incredible potential, it really does. But right now, it's just so... it feels like... I don't know. I feel like you've got my impression of. I've said it a lot. I've waxed lyrical about how the feeling... I like to judge games. I mean, look at that. It looks awesome. Weird, wacky creatures, and there's hundreds of them. That really is something the game does have going for it. But yeah, I like to judge games based on a lot of, like, feelings and just general opinions I form just by experiencing, as well as just actual categorically true or false information about the game, and this game does not give me that good feeling that I like to get. So as you can see, I'm quite injured now, and yeah, this is generally how adventure mode works. As far as crafting goes, here we have the list of everything we can craft. You start with it in adventure mode, so for example, to craft this campfire, I'd have to go kill some animals, get some fat and some wood, and then I can simply just press the craft button, and this works for everything. A very simple, effective, functioning crafting system. As you can see, everything's craftable to start with, and you just simply need to farm the materials and slowly craft up. A fucking missile launcher. There is a missile launcher turret. That is fantastic. So yeah, that honestly is the entire crafting system. It's fairly basic, but it does the job. And then also, one of the coolest parts of this mode is that I can walk up to random people's furniture and just decide that it's now mine. I own it now. This is me. Screw you, Navidad, Nati Vadidad Mohammed. Yeah! I don't even... What is her problem? What is your problem, woman? I'm a Scottish explorer now. And you, Lindsay Tarango. You, Lordy Butler. I hate you as well. I hate all of yous. Especially you, Stanley Baggerly. I don't care how fun your name is to say. Alright guys, so as is adventure mode in a nutshell, let me finally take you to the story mode, which is actually rather neat, because it does give you kind of some cool direction and objectives. So if we load into the story mode, again, I must have to create a character, because for some reason you're not allowed a solid character type for the entire thing, but I guess that wouldn't work because it wouldn't really be able to transfer your gear. So with the story mode, you do genuinely get a cutscene, a reason for going places. They found Planet Maria, they're there to explore it, find new resources, but then something goes wrong and they crash on the planet, get separated, and you have to do things. I would let you watch the cutscene and listen to it, but honestly, it's not that crazy. The story's not overly, oh my god, gripping. You're exploring a planet, you crash, you're doing things when you land on the ground, so just accept that that's the story. It really isn't worth watching the cutscene. So here we go, about to touch down on the planet and find out what has happened in this horribleness, this entire horribleness. It's just so awful. And come on, there we go. Yay! So here we are. Oh, it's given me another grassy planet. Lovely. I do enjoy my grassy planets. I can assure you there is variety. There's deserts, there's canyons, there's forests, there's swamps. There is other terrain variety. For some reason, I'm just not allowed to show it to you. So here we are in story. There's actual... Your character is speaking. The NPCs in story actually do have voice acting because they're actual characters, which is nice. This NPC has a shop where you can buy basic supplies from. You know, it all feels a little bit more organic and lifelike in the story. You actually have things to do. So if I go talk to her, as you can see, not punch her in the face. Come on, calm down. Calm down. There we go. And we have actual main story and side quests that you can get. Why wouldn't it let me talk to you? There we go. Did it in the end. So, you know, we go through all the dialogue, we read it if we care, etc., etc., and then we ask her if she's okay, which is the thing we have to do to trigger the quest. So, what she wants us to do is, apart from learn the controls and everything, you probably should do the campaign if you're new to the game, is go find the emergency kit. Now, in order to find the emergency kit, I need a shovel because I need to dig for it. However, I happen to know, because I'm a very clever bastard, that this is the storage area over here, because, you know, I've totally done this before, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. So I will take everything out of the storage. It gives you a set of basic tools, resources, medical supplies, and even a bed. There we go, that's my house now. Got a house. Yep, this patch of grass is my house, like a boss. So I'll just sleep, you know, just casually. And you can actually sleep all Oblivion style, wait for a certain amount of hours, and that actually passes things like the recycling machine doing its job, and various things do happen, day and night cycles. It is actually a mechanic sleeping, not just a flavor thing. So now that I've found the thing, I also have a side quest to go give herbal juice, which I would do by gathering various flowers. And for some reason, I'm no longer allowed to move in a direction that isn't this way. Legitimately, I can't turn around. Just, come on, Planet Explorer, stop trying so hard to put me off. I want to like you. So I could gather things like this, start farming, and eventually craft the juice that I need to craft. If I go into my inventory, and this is awkward, actually. Go back to Gertie Hook over here. Hello, Gertie Hook. Can I, Gertie, and require. Sometimes the NPCs like to just ignore your face, and it's really irritating, because for some reason they feel the need to just sit there, stare at. Can I please talk to you? Please? No, we're just not going to talk to her. Okay, well, she'd sell me the recipe for the juice if I was actually allowed to speak to her, but according to the game, that's just, I can punch her. There we go, we did it, awesome! So yeah, we got various things that we can buy from her, and we got to get the juice recipe, make her juice, and generally complete the side quest. I don't know why I generally complete the side quest, I just do. And then we also have the main quest, whereby we equip the shovel, and then we go digging. Now, at this point, this is where I gave up with the campaign, because, right, let me do that. Oh, so these are the scripts. I'm really dumb. I forgot that they give you the scripts, not the actual item. So that is me learning a new script. That is my fault. So, you know, try not to have a go at the game for that one. That was just me being derpy. So I'd have to go find a tree, hammer it down, get my starting wood, craft a shovel, and then start digging. But that is the point where I quit this campaign, because what it expects you to do is go digging around this entire plane and find an item in the ground, and that takes ages, and it's kind of random, and I got bored and it bugged me. So that's as far as I got in the campaign. So while the campaign is cool, it's directed, it's scripted, there's actual quests to combine with the open creativeness, so far from what I've seen, it seems kind of, I don't want to say tedious, but I kind of do, if you get me. And again, that's a shame. So honestly, guys, there is a lot more to this game, but it is very difficult to talk about it all in one video. I've given you a general overview, how I generally think about the game. So my final recommendation with this, it's on Steam for £17-ish. It's still in early access, it's being updated frequently. This game is very much a diamond in the rough. There is a lot of potential, a lot of good ideas, a lot of good mechanics that are just buried beneath just ness that the game presents you with. I feel like it is 100% a game to watch, and on release I think it might be something truly special, but right now, personally, unless you're desperate for something to kill your boredom, I have a hard time recommending it for its current price for what it is, but definitely follow it, because I do think it has an incredible amount of potential, and I do really like a lot of the things going on. By no means is it a bad game, it's just not fully formed yet. That's the best way of saying it. I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it, and I'll definitely be returning to it once things are added and changed, because I do really love the concepts here, and I want it to be good, and I want to play it more. I'm just struggling to get as into it as I do with other games in a similar genre and setup to this. So that is my honest opinion of this game. My name has been Rage. Please subscribe for more content like this and other stuff of fun varieties. Please remember to like if you enjoyed this. I will see you all next time. Goodbye.